Ghosties, let's talk. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. Today's video was actually supposed to be me making predictions about what Ghost9's next era could look like, but then I realized I couldn't make those bold predictions without understanding the lore first. So I searched Ghost9 lore like any other Ghostie would have done, and shockingly, I didn't really find much. Hollow Earth and GLEEZ were basically all I found. So I gave myself the task of doing a proper deep dive into Ghost9's universe. And this is what I found. Let's be completely honest right from the start. If you look up K-pop lore online, you are flooded with endless fan wikis, deep dive theories, and massive documentation for the biggest groups in the industry. But for Ghost9, silence. Almost nothing. And that frustrates me because they are one of the most conceptually interesting cinematic groups of the fourth generation. The internet completely dropped the ball on documenting their universe. In fact, let's talk about a huge paradox in this fandom. A lot of you watching this right now probably know Prince. You know him from his viral vlogs, his sarcastic reels, or his struggle meal videos. His social media pages actually have significantly more followers than the official Ghost9 group account. People love Prince as an individual creator, but Prince did not join this intense industry just to be an internet personality. He is an active K-pop idol, and he wants to be recognized as one. He, along with his members, have spent years building a sci-fi storyline that is a genuine work of art. If you want to support Prince the way he actually wants to be supported, you need to support his group and his music. So, since the internet failed to make a playbook for their universe, I'm stepping up to do it myself. Whether you are an older Ghostie looking back at where it all started, or a newer Ghostie who only know Prince from TikTok, welcome! Today we're opening the vault. This is episode 1 where we are breaking down their entire foundation from day 1, so you can understand exactly where my massive comeback predictions are coming from next time. Today, we are going right back to the deep dark underground where the gateway first opened. If you look at the track list for pre-episode 1 Door, it is not just a random collection of songs. It is a chronological map of their escape. Track 1, Vision, is the awakening. Track 2, Think of Dawn, is the unlocking of the gate. Track 3, Reborn, is the journey through the portal. Track 4, It's Gonna Be Hot, is their spiritual alignment with the GLEEZ. Track 5, Layback, is probably my hottest take in this timeline. To me, this isn't about relaxing. It's about staying out of sight. After crossing over, they aren't safe yet. They're keeping their heads down, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right moment before making the final push into our world. Track 6, Flying at Night, continues that idea of remaining unseen. If they're finally making their way to the surface, doing it under the cover of night would be the safest way to avoid being discovered. So to me, Flying at Night doesn't just represent their arrival, it represents how they arrived. The debut deep dive. Now, if you just brush over their debut, you'll probably hear people say, "Oh, Ghost9 has a sci-fi concept about coming from the Hollow Earth." But I think that completely misses what's really happening. Maru Entertainment didn't just give Ghost9 a sci-fi concept for aesthetics. I believe they embedded a chronological map of an interdimensional escape directly into the debut track list. And that map is exactly where this theory begins. Let's break down pre-episode 1, Door, the way I think it was actually meant to be understood. It starts with track 1, Vision. The dramatic, cinematic instrumental and otherworldly vocals aren't just an introduction. They represent the exact moment of genetic awakening. The 9 guardians are waking from a deep artificial sleep beneath the Earth's surface. They're gaining their vision, realizing their cosmic identity, and seeing the true state of their world for the very first time. They perceive the dark, mechanical reality that's been holding them captive. That awakening immediately triggers track 2, the title track. Think of Dawn. Living trapped in a pitch-black underground world, these guardians have never witnessed a real sunrise. To them, dawn isn't a memory. It's a myth. It's a concept they've only imagined, never experienced. Once they awaken, they begin searching for a way out. But they're faced with one impossible reality. They're trapped deep beneath the Earth's surface. Freedom exists only as an idea. They can only think of dawn, never see it. Using that hope as their motivation, they begin forming a plan to escape the darkness. The aggressive metallic EDM production mirrors the chaos of their growing rebellion. Lyrically, they're unveiling a hidden world and breaking through the darkness. By the end of the song, they activate the ancient cybertech needed to blast open the literal door to the surface. Once that door flies open, we step into track 3, Reborn. The entire sonic atmosphere changes. The rhythmic, driving beat feels less like a battle and more like movement, a physical journey. This track documents the immediate, high adrenaline aftermath of opening the gate. The Guardians have already passed through the wormhole and are now on the way to our reality. They are reborn. Their eyes are finally open. At this point, they're no longer accepting the reality they were raised in, they're challenging everything they thought they knew. But navigating a dark, interdimensional portal would be terrifying. That's exactly why track 4, It's Gonna Be Hot, exists. Don't let the bright, retro-pop sound fool you into thinking the lore suddenly pauses. In K-pop storytelling, choreography often symbolizes spiritual synchronization. And I think that's exactly what's happening here. This track represents the moment the Guardians fully align their souls with the GLEEZ, their 9 ghostly spirit guardians. Even in the middle of a chaotic escape, they're no longer alone. They now have divine cosmic protection guiding them forward. At the same time, the song captures the emotional rush of that moment excitement, adrenaline relief, hope, and everything in between. After surviving the escape and synchronizing with the GLEEZ, the Guardians are finally on their way to Earth, but they're still vulnerable. They've escaped one prison only to enter an unfamiliar world. They can't reveal themselves just yet. That's where layback comes in. Rather than charging headfirst into humanity, the Guardians choose patience. They stay hidden, observe, and adapt to their new surroundings before making contact. In a sense, this is their first lesson about living on the surface. Survival doesn't always mean fighting it. Sometimes means knowing when to stay out of sight. The title itself reflects this perfectly. Lay back, stay low, don't draw attention, wait for the right moment. This also bridges perfectly into flying at night. If layback is the decision to remain hidden, then flying at night is the execution of that plan. Darkness becomes their ally as they continue their journey unseen. After choosing to stay hidden, the Guardians begin moving through our world under the cover of darkness. Flying at night isn't just a poetic title, it's a survival strategy. Darkness becomes their safest ally. They're still strangers to the surface, still adapting to humanity, and they can't risk exposing themselves before they're ready. So instead of arriving in broad daylight, they travel unseen, navigating an unfamiliar world while remaining hidden from those who would fear or exploit them. This is also where the emotional tone of the album begins to settle. The adrenaline of escaping has faded, replaced by cautious determination. Every step forward brings them closer to their destination, but every step is taken in silence. More importantly, the night symbolizes transition. They no longer belong to the hollow earth, but they haven't fully become part of humanity either. They're suspended between two worlds, traveling through the darkness until they're ready to step into the light. The door has opened, but what waits beyond it is an entirely new world. Now under the cover of night, they continue toward a future the next album will uncover. Did you notice something I missed, or do you have a different interpretation? Let me know in the comments.